Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the month of November. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Virgo, let's go ahead and see what we have here for you. Now I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, the Ethereal Visions Tarot, and the Kipper Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below if you'd like to pick them up for yourself. Do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel for regular updates from me. Virgo, you are the last sign I'm doing here for this month, and wow, I have to say, what a great way to end out this series. You have a very nice reading here for this month of November. So, all right, let me go ahead and make sure we're all set up here. And okay, I think that's good enough to me. Energy on the bottom, you have the Seven of Cups. So, you know, the Seven of Cups, this can talk about how, you know, based on a reading like this, this can say that you have an abundance of choice, you have an abundance of options in front of you, but along with that, the path isn't necessarily clear. You're not necessarily sure which one you want to take, but it does say that you have the luxury of choice when you get the Seven of Cups. With that, you know, it can bring about some feelings, some overwhelming feelings, or you could be feeling overwhelmed, or maybe even a little bit confused in some ways, as you have that, you know, the burden of choice as well, not just the luxury of choice, but needing to make a choice. But in this case, it feels like, you know, this is a good problem to have for you with that Seven of Cups on the bottom. So, you know, it's interesting. Most people for this month, the collective has been getting the Tower. So you don't have the Tower in this reading, which is generally seen as a good thing. And, you know, the reason that the collective has been getting the Tower is because the Tower is associated with Mars, and Mars is going retrograde on October 30th. And Mars, you know, has been in Gemini for some time now, and because of this retrograde action, it is going to be in Gemini till March, and so it's a pretty significant transit. But just a friendly reminder for you in the month of November, as Gemini is as Mars is retrograde in Gemini, to be careful that your fire is not burning too hot in you know, disagreements or conflicts, because it's very possible that conflicts could happen. Not to scare you, but I'm just saying, like, just throwing it out there. So that's just a general kind of warning for this month. But getting back to your reading, I don't really see that for you, okay? I don't see conflicts. Obviously, the astrology is the astrology, and we're all kind of dealing with the Mars retrograde at a global level. But for you, this is about something else. Okay, this is about something else. So in the overall situation here, you have the Emperor, and the Emperor is really somebody who is a boss. This is somebody who's successful. This is somebody who's really, it's seen as a good omen in tarot, in business. Okay, this person has kind of worked hard to get to the throne, to wear the crown, and they have done that by having, you know, a really strong work ethic, a really healthy connection to routines and habits. And as a result, they have acquired respect and authority from the people around them. And, you know, the Emperor is a very, very good sign for you in business. Some of you could also, there's something connected to fatherhood, or to maybe if you are not a father, connected to like family in some ways. Like you might be, whatever your gender is, you might be a mother or a father. Some of you may be having a child here. Some of you could be stepping into a new circumstance with your family or with your relationship to your significant other as well. That could also be the case. Some of you, by the way, there is a pretty significant fertility sign here with the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and then throw on good news from the Page of Pentacles, and then destiny and fate from the Wheel of Fortune. So some of you could be welcoming a child into the mix as well. Not everybody's going to be doing that, but I think for some of you, you're either in this storyline where your relationship energy is going very well, or you're in this other storyline that is connected to business. Now, at the beginning of the month, you have the Sun, the Two of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. Hard to beat that combination of cards. Starting at the Two of Cups, this is my favorite romance card in the tarot. It's two souls linking up in this lifetime. This is a deep bond between you and another person, okay, when you get the Two of Cups energy. You can see that, you can see just in the illustration here. But this might suggest that you've known this person in your past life, if you believe in past lives. If you don't believe in past lives, then it just means that you have a really, really deep connection to this person. And this could be your, if you're somebody who likes to use the labels, soulmate, twin flame, divine counterpart, whatever you want to call it, right? It could be somebody like that here. And I do think that you're already in a relationship with this person, because I think it's progressing to a different, the words right now are not coming out of my mouth, but I think your relationship is moving to something new. It's changing to something new. It's progressing in some way. And you may already be married, or you may, be engaged, or, you may be welcoming a new baby or something like this here. Like, there's really positive developments in your relationship in this month, because you have this Ten of Cups paired with it, which you can see the family here on the card. This is really good energy for family. And it's also just really feeling extremely happy in life. It's feeling extremely emotionally fulfilled. It is like a windfall of happiness is the way that you can look at the Ten of Cups. It's one of the happiest cards. Actually, come to think of it, you have the two happiest cards here with the Sun and the Ten of Cups. These are the happiest cards to find in a tarot reading. And so you start the beginning of the month here off on a happy note. Now, not everybody's here for love. And so if you're not here for love, the Sun card, this talks about extreme happiness, especially when combined with the Ten of Cups, but it also represents self-expression. It represents victory, success, and an important truth as well. It's a card of truth. And so I will say, if you're here for business, some of you are, I just heard receiving a reward, or receiving an award, I should say, receiving an award, or you are striking some type of really happy balance in your career life. When I look at the number 2, I think of the word balance, and you have this Two of Cups. Two of Cups in a business context or reading can indicate partnership. Again, really all things good here. In the middle of the month, you have the Four of Pentacles, you have the Emperor, which is number 4, and you have the Hanging Man, or the Hanged Man. And so, I think careful planning, careful consideration in your work life has really paid off. It is interesting because the month starts off here on a bang, and it closes on a bang too. But there is a situation here that I would say with the Hanging Man, or the Hanged Man, and the Four of Pentacles. I would say that there's something here where you are holding on to. Okay, both of these cards indicate hanging on or holding on to something. You can see that this person here is holding on to their pentacle. This person here is hanging on to the post. And this can say that maybe you're not taking action, or there's something that you are hesitant around. The Hanging Man or the Hanged Man really needs to embrace a transformation, which is provided by the next card, which would be the Death card. The Four of Pentacles person is afraid potentially of losing what they have. What I would say is do not be afraid to take a risk, but this risk is something that should be, this risk should be something that is a risk where it's all or like, no, it's not all or nothing. This is a risk, how do I say this? If there's another person involved, do not put another person at risk, okay? If you feel like taking a risk in this month, this should be your risk, okay? Like, do not, like, be very careful that somebody else's well-being here is not in the picture, Virgo, okay? And what I mean by that is we have this, the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have this interesting Mars retrograde. So if you feel like going all or nothing in on something, I'm not telling you right or wrong. I'm not telling you to go for something, you know, consult your advisors, right? I'm not a financial advisor. But if you feel like you need to go all or nothing on something, make sure that the only person that you are risking is you, okay? Like, make sure that's, yeah, because of the idea of Mars in Gemini in retrograde and also this idea of partnership here. That being said, the cards are very positive for you, and it's because you're established. So some of you want to take a risk, and the reason that this is showing up as a very beneficial thing for you is because you are established here with the Emperor. Towards the end of the month, you have the Page of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups, and you also have the Wheel of Fortune. So wow, I mean, perfect alignment, okay? Perfect alignment. Here is the Page of Pentacles. Some of you really do have a good prospect in life. And, you know, this, my gosh, I have to get the card up here. But you can see that this person's holding out a pentacle, offering up a pentacle. They're delivering a message or delivering good news or delivering a prospect. And, you know, some of you really do have a nice prospect in life here, especially as you have this Ace of Cups, which could lead to a happy new beginning, another message of happiness here. You have many, many messages of happiness here. And throw in the Wheel of Fortune's influence, and the Wheel of Fortune is like a change in your destiny. It is the wheel of time spinning, and there is risk that is associated with the Wheel of Fortune, or the Wheel of Fortune is associated with the concept of risk. Some of you are looking to take a risk. And, you know, I mean, risk is risk, right? You can weigh out the options, you know, you can, you know, try to, do a SWOT analysis, you know, make a pros and cons list. But at the end of the day, you know, no matter how much research we do, no matter how much planning we do, we have to sometimes in life, we sometimes have to take risks. And maybe that's why this Seven of Cups is here, because some of you are like, wow, well, I see the possibilities, I see the potentials in this opportunity or this prospect or whatever it is. And it's, you know, it's one of these things, cliche as it is, you never know until you try. Now, for some of you here, again, on the relationship front, I just see that really progressing to a really nice place. Again, I think that there is a change in that relationship, and I don't mean like breakup. I mean a change in that, like, okay, you're moving in together, you're getting married, you're now... somebody's proposing, or you're welcoming a child in, or there's like a different level of the relationship that you are entering into. Let's go ahead and let's start to clarify this situation even more here. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, please do hit that like button and subscribe. And all right. Do appreciate you being here. Thank you for spending your time with me. All right, let's go ahead and let's get some clarifications. So you have the Magician, you have the Three of Pentacles, and you have the Nine of Wands. So yes, Three of Pentacles connects to the other people involved in your work, i.e. your colleagues or the people that you share a workspace with or whatever. And you have it with the Two of Cups, which again is partnership. So some of you are buddying up with somebody to create a project or to, you know, go into business with somebody. Again, I think it's very important that if you do like an all or nothing thing, that like you're not putting anybody else's situation at risk, okay? That's what it feels like, okay? Now, if somebody wants to enter into this, risk with you, that's the risk that they take. But yeah, just something that's coming in that I feel like saying. It's coming to my mind, so I got to say it. The Magician here. This is a major energy of manifestation in the tarot. It says that you have all the tools that you need to be a major success in life and to manifest something. And really, with the Magician, it's just a matter of doing. It's a matter of taking action. You've got all the talent in the world, and you can do it. The Nine of Wands is a card of resistance, but it's also a card of not giving up and not backing down in the face of resistance or in the face of challenge or in the face of difficulty, and continuing forward on your path. Very positive reading here. You have the Four of Cups. You have the Two of Cups. And you have the Seven of Wands. So there is something about going on here at the middle of the month where you're like in this holding period. You are, have you ever heard that phrase? I just heard this phrase in my mind, resting on your laurels. Is that what I just heard? Or sitting on your laurels, or resting on your laurels, or I don't know, I don't know what that means, but I just heard that. In other words, there's this passive energy at the middle of the month, and it's like, I think it's coming around again to this idea where like some of you are like trying to do the analysis, plan out everything. And, with risk is risk, and everything in life that we do is a risk. There's a risk in having children. There's a risk in getting married. There's a risk in starting a business, leaving your job to, become a travel vlogger or whatever, right? There's like a list, there's a risk in everything. And, sometimes, we just have to take those certain risks, in life. And, I think that's kind of what's showing up here in the middle, because you see this person here meditating or like reflecting, but there's an opportunity in the upper left corner here, okay? And this person needs to be very careful that they do not miss out on the opportunity, which I think is coming in very heavily for you here. So Two of Cups twice. Look, your relationship situation looks great. Seven of Wands, that could be competition, but I think it's more about just standing your ground on this thing that you feel like you need to do, or this risk that you feel like you need to take. You have the Five of Wands, you have the Knight of Cups, and you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, with the Two of Cups twice, and the Ten of Cups, that's like fertility, baby combination, So this is a factor for some Virgos here that are here. Maybe it's like you're trying to figure out, or you're waiting on the news, like you're waiting on something connected to that, because and the Knight of Cups. That's like news. The Knight of Cups could be an event that happens. It could be an event that happens that makes you very happy. This is also connected to your potentially lovers or your significant other, or just love generally. When you get the Knight of Cups, this could be somebody that you love very deeply. And, I definitely think that this is a very, very big factor. The Five of Wands is a conflict. There's something about like a conflict in your mind, or an internal conflict. Maybe you're having a conversation about raising a family or something like this here. Again, going back to the business idea, the Ace of Wands says get physically started on something. Like start today, start now. And the Ace of Wands says that you are really fired up and you are really geared up and ready to move into a new beginning for yourself. On the bottom of the deck, you have the Hermit, which is you, Virgo. That is your energy. So the Hermit card is the Virgo card in tarot. This is all about you this month, and, well, for some of you, it's about the Two of Cups twice. There's definitely somebody else here. Privileged lady living a life of luxury. Thoughts. Can we get a few more cards here? Unexpected income. Yeah, definitely you see dollar signs here on something. Not exactly sure what it is, but you have high honor. Yeah, great fortune, no doubt. No doubt about it. Pathway, wow. Virgo. Best reading I've done this month, I'm pretty certain. And then on the bottom, you have the gift card. The Great Fortune card is literally the best card in the Kipper deck. It says that there's a positive change in your fortune or your luck. You also have 25, 26, 27. Again, your situation's progressing here. Great Fortune card, Wheel of Fortune. There's something about luck, risk, reward. Luck, risk, reward. You know, like all those three things being kind of interlinked in life. And I think that this is just a part of your month. Like you're just weighing something, and there's a little bit of luck, there's a little bit of risk, there's a little bit of reward that comes along with it. But whatever it is, this pathway is being illuminated for you. So thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.